Hi, my name is Celia, and today my focus is on the romance novel, particularly in terms of its definition by Pamela Regis, in her chapters The Definition and The Definition Expanded. I will then apply this to the classic example of Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, as well as a modern revision of the genre in the Fulbright Company's Gone Home. Regis explains that a romance novel is a work of prose fiction that tells the story of the courtship and betrothal of one or more heroines. She then goes on to define the 8 essential elements of the romance novel. Number 1. Society defined. Near the beginning of the novel, society is defined for the reader, and this society tends to be in some way flawed. Number 2. The meeting. The hero and the heroine meet for the first time, and in some cases, signs of conflict may already be introduced. Number 3. The barrier. Throughout the novel, the reader is provided with reasons why the couple cannot be together, and these barriers can be both internal or external. Number 4. The attraction. Chemistry between the hero and the heroine is what keeps the pair involved long enough to overcome the barrier. Number 5. The declaration. There will be a scene or scenes somewhere in the novel in which both the hero and the heroine express their love for each other. Declarations can, however, occur separately and at any point in the narrative. Number 6. The point of ritual death. This is the point at which the union between the heroine and the hero seems impossible, and the barrier insurmountable, putting the happy ending in great jeopardy. Number 7. The recognition. Finally, information is brought to light that will allow the pair to overcome the barrier, whether it be the opposition to the match falls away, or some kind of internal battle is won. Number 8. The betrothal. The classic happy ending for the couple comes in the form of one party asking the other to marry them, and that person saying yes. However, in modern romance novels, it is not necessary for the story to end in marriage, but rather just the promise that the heroine and the hero will end up together. Jane Eyre is a classic example of a traditional romance novel, adhering perfectly to Regis's 8 essential elements. At the very beginning of the novel, society is defined in such a way as to bring to attention the oppression felt by both women and the poor. And upon Jane's first meeting with Mr. Rochester, it is already clear this is going to have an impact on their relationship. In fact, it is Jane's dissatisfaction with being a dependent that ultimately acts as the barrier between the two. Attraction is clear on both sides, and declarations are made on multiple occasions. Betrothal even occurs, but during the proposal it is incredibly obvious how real the barrier between the pair still is.
Jane, I ask you to pass through life at my side. You are my equal in my likeness. Will you marry me?
Are you mocking me?
Do you doubt me?
Entirely.
It is this act that ultimately leads to Jane's point of ritual death. After finding out about Mr. Rochester's wife, she runs away.
Jane! Jane!
Almost dying of starvation and becoming ever more dependent on a new set of people. However, it is also this point at which the barrier is overcome. Jane receives the recognition she requires when she comes into some family money, and turns down a practical marriage because it is without love. When Jane and Mr. Rochester finally meet again, the context of their relationship has entirely changed. Jane has discovered who she is as a woman and is no longer financially dependent, whereas Rochester has become crippled and in need of physical and emotional aid. The pair can now be together as equals, thus providing the promise of a happy ending. All 8 essential elements are displayed in a relatively linear fashion, leaving no doubt as to Jane Eyre's rightful place in the romance genre. Gone Home, on the other hand, is an incredibly non-linear narrative that fails to provide the traditional heroine and hero once compulsory for a text to be considered a romance. Gone Home is without a doubt a romantic story, but does it adhere to the elements that Regis feels are essential to the genre? Sam Greenbriar can be seen as the heroine of the story, and society is first defined in terms of the way she is understood by her peers, and later in terms of the understanding of her parents, which largely corresponds to the barrier later faced by Sam and Lonnie.
You and Lonnie are just good friends. You just haven't met the right boy. It's a phase. That's what I didn't see coming. That they wouldn't even respect me enough to believe me.
The meeting is one of love at first sight on Sam's part, or at least infatuation, and the two become ridiculously attracted to each other, but they are just a little too afraid to show it. This is why the declarations are a little muted, but they are definitely still made.
Lonnie, do you think you could ever... And that's when she kissed me.
The point of ritual death comes when Sam realizes that Lonnie is leaving to join the army, and when she does, they can no longer be together, suddenly making the happy ending seem impossible. But both the recognition and the symbolic betrothal occur when Lonnie decides that she can't go through with it, and the pair instead choose to run away and be together, providing the promise of the couple spending their lives together. So while Gone Home is not a novel, nor does it involve the traditional hero and heroine, or even the betrothal, it is nonetheless a romantic narrative in adherence with Regis's essential elements, with just as much, if not more, spirit than the classic Jane Eyre. Thank you.